Today on the Fredericton Marathon training schedule is the first long run. It's 10K, it's not gonna be that bad. But that's sort of the structure of a 14-week training plan. You ramp up, and then with like 2 weeks before your actual event, you start to taper and ramp back down. So Brian, stay tuned, don't worry. The mileage is very much going to increase by like week 6, 7, 8. You know, there's some like pretty long Saturday runs that need to be done. Actually, if you're interested, I'll share the training plan that I'm using below. It's a 14-week sub 4-hour goal marathon plan. We'll see if it works. You may have noticed Norton hasn't been joining me on the runs anymore. They're just getting a little long and the pace is just a little bit too much for his 12-year-old self to handle. So that adds a little bit of a challenge because he still needs his walks. So I go out and walk and run. So getting his zone 2 exercises in, it's just like a little cherry on top. Today is the day that the GTMX goes away. I'm driving to meet up with an actual subscriber of the channel. I'm just giving it away to him. It's like 6 degrees Celsius outside right now. So I think when I get to Dartmouth Cross, we're meeting at Dartmouth Crossing like Burnside. I think I'm just gonna run around there and get my 10K in there. Bit of different scenery, bit of different terrain, probably a good thing to have in my marathon training a little bit. I've never run in Fredericton before, so I probably shouldn't do the same routes over and over and over again. Let's go. I regret everything already. There it is, 10.14 kilometers done. I went way too far. I went a lot farther out of my way than, well, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know how long 10K would be. So just kept going further and further away and did not loop back in nearly enough time. Oh well. Oh well, bonus slow run to get back. I also ended up kind of smashing the pace a little more than I was supposed to. That was 10.14 kilometers at a 4 minute and 53 second per kilometer pace. And I'm supposed to be at a 5:17, but, and that's the problem with me being outside and having a watch, if I see that I could probably go faster, I push it. I push it every single time. It's definitely a mental ego thing that I don't think I'm gonna be able to shake, and I justify it by going, well, if I try really, really hard and like smash the pace goal in all of my workouts, when I go to do the marathon, it should be easier. And actually, when you say it like that, it does sound good. Maybe the training should be harder than the event. Experienced runners, please let me know if that makes sense or not. Welcome to Gear Gab. On this installment of Gear Gab, I would like to discuss the true reason that the 26-inch wheel size will not die on this channel. Because I did just give away the last of my unfinished frame-only retro 90s 26-inch mountain bike frames that could have potentially been projects. Pretty much entirely because in the last year or so, I've lost all interest in doing like 90s 26-inch mountain bike builds. But this, my beloved dirt jumper, has 26-inch wheels. And any dirt jumper I have from now into the future will continue to have 26-inch wheels, despite the fact that companies are trying, there's like a few companies that are trying to introduce 650B 27.5-inch wheel size into the dirt jumper world. And I do not understand the thought process behind that. Whoa. I guess I shouldn't say that I don't understand bigger wheel size, they roll a little faster. Larger wheel makes a larger frame, so better for someone who's like a taller, bigger person who needs a bigger bike for dirt jumping if they want to get into it. And then that bigger bike as well, longer, more stable. I guess based on what I just watched, as I second guessed whether I thought this was a good idea or not, there may be a little bit better in a bike park situation. But then I find myself wondering, like, why wouldn't you just get a hardcore hardtail instead of a 650B dirt jumper? So I have a hard time understanding that, but you know, whatever. Point being, I enjoy a 26-inch dirt jumper, and most of the people who ride dirt jumpers also prefer 26. So the benefit of that for all 26-inch riders is there has to be a market for 26-inch tires for these types of bikes. And that is normally what I see people putting on their their retro builds. So you got to appreciate the 26-inch dirt jumper for that. Thanks for checking out this episode of Gear Gab. Now, I did take this down for a bit more of a reason than just to discuss the fact that just because I'm not going to be doing 26-inch wheeled 90s retro mountain bike builds anymore, that there won't be 26-inch wheels on the channel. Since Kevin and Devin were here on their dirt jumpers and each of them got it up on that wall, I've been wanting to put my 26-inch dirt jumper up onto this wall as well. But it's also a pretty good example of just how different having a bigger wheel versus the small wheel that you're used to, like how much it affects trying to do something you already know you can do. It's kind of like the catalyst for making me wonder why there's like a small, but not insignificant push for 650B wheels on a dirt jumper, because the bigger wheels definitely do make stuff like this more difficult. Anyway, I want to try it, so I'm going to do a few wall rides on my BMX and then graduate up to the dirt jumper. All right, I'm gonna try it on the big bike. I have the skill though. I know I have the skill. Yeah! Yes! Yes! Woo! Oh man, way scarier on the big bike.